This is a video response to Rhaegar about the games that you'd like to run that you haven't. A while ago, over a year ago, I think, Tim Harper did a similar kind of video. Games that I like that no one else wants to play, kind of thing. The Frustrated Game Master video. And so some of the things on my list are still on my list from my video response to him back then. But some have been replaced by newer games which have come down the pike. I didn't do a straight list of 10. I've instead divided it into categories. So we'll look at those as I go through. First category is games I want to run. So I've taken 5 of the available slots. And these are 5 games that I just like to run just because there's something about them I like. So we'll just go through them kind of quickly. Still on my list, Blue Planet. It's a great hard science fiction setting with a clean system. There's a lot of storytelling, like setting opportunities, lots of situations. It's ideal for creating a sandbox. It's ideal for one-shots. I mean, it's just really a solid presentation of a really clear, good SF environment for a role-playing game. So, of course, it's not very well known, not very popular, and nobody plays it. Next one, Yggdrasil. I got a bunch of games from Cubicle 7 recently. They're all gorgeous. They're all really well laid out. And they all have some very strong thematic and genre elements, which I enjoy exploring. And I've just watched 2 seasons of Vikings, so I've got a lot of imagery in my head. It'd be nice to take it out for a walk with Yggdrasil. And I'm always up for a near-future horror setting, so kudos, ideal for me. So those 2 games. Next, Shadowrun 5. It's evolved enough from the old days when I played it that it's time to check it out again and see if the changes to system have made any significant changes to gameplay. Is this an improvement? Is it just a sidestep into a simpler play or more complicated play or what? It's time to take it out for a test drive. And the last game in the I just want to play it but I haven't played it yet category would have to be Corporia. I think it would be a blast to play. Alright, 5 games that I should play is the next part of this. And I should play them because I believe in challenging my concepts, my beliefs about how games work. So these 5. First on the list is Torchbearer. I'm not a huge fan of how Burning Wheel HQ approaches game design, but there's something about Torchbearer that appeals to me. And there's something about its approach that I have been ignoring or pushing to the side because I don't quite like it. So it's time to look it square in the face and actually run the game and see what I can make of it. Next one, Hero System. I have been on the player side of this system. And I tend to think that it's too complex and that's really what I tend to think. It's too complex. Like, why do I want to do it this way? Well, it's time to play it and find out why someone would want to play that way. For Hero System, however, it's more of a toolkit. So I would also have to pair it with a genre and either create that genre myself, as I did with RuneQuest, or get some kind of packaged system that goes along with Hero. I haven't given that too much thought, but because this year coming, I'm planning on focusing on science fiction. I suspect that's what I'd do with it. And a friend of mine is working pretty hard to develop a Hero System version of MechWarrior. So, maybe I would do that. Next one on the list is another generic, kind of on the realistic side, on the sim side system, EBA 2.0. Now, it doesn't have to be played that way. It also has tools to do other things, but EBA is one of the best game PDFs I've ever seen. It's all extensively hyperlinked and has a lot of great tools for the game master. I read it and it immediately put me off. I just was totally not interested in running this game, and so therefore I should explore it and figure out exactly why, so I can put a name on why I don't want to run it, and punch through that dislike, that immediate knee-jerk dislike of the system, to see what it does well, why it was made the way it was made, and again, what can I do with the system? I'm not really sure. I don't want to do just another generic SF system to tack on to it. So I think for EBA I'd want to run like an espionage game. I think that would be fun. Next one on my list is one that I've thought about pretty much since I saw my first Dragon magazine and saw an ad for the game. But I didn't actually see the game until much, much, much later. I've never played it, never run it. Traveler. I'd like to try Traveler as a game master. Probably to do a merchant-based game versus piracy kind of setup. A very classic trope, I know. And the last one that I should try, a game that I have stayed as far away from as I could, and back in the early days, I often questioned the need for its existence, but I've mellowed. It's GURPS. I've never really... I had the same reaction to GURPS that I had to Hero System, but people that I respect, like Null Inquisitor, their strong support and their actual play descriptions of GURPS. Okay, it's time for me to take a real look at GURPS. Then a lot of other systems that I've investigated instead. Those are rapidly dwindling. There's not much left that I haven't played, so okay. GURPS, you're on my list. Now, honorable mentions. For the first time in ages and ages and ages, the new edition of Call of Cthulhu is coming out, which is markedly different from the previous editions. It will be out sometime this year. It's not ready yet, so it's not on my list. It's just an honorable mention, and I'll get to it when I can. I will get to it as soon as I can after release. I am not cautiously optimistic about this game. What I've seen from the quick start doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence that I'm going to like this edition very much. I think a lot of people really will like this edition, and I think the edition is going to work very well. I'm not at all feeling like it's going to be a bad game. I'm feeling like it won't be the best game for me to do Call of Cthulhu. And so that's why it's on my list as an honorable mention. Am I right or wrong in that feeling? Other honorable mention is Feed. It's on the list because it's new. I haven't had time to really read through it with any degree of depth, and but I think I might enjoy running Feed, so it's an honorable mention. Now, to tack on to the end of this, 5 intellectual properties that I would like to turn into like one-shots or limited run games, just for my own enjoyment and that of my players. I'd like to turn the one season of television show from a British company called Ultraviolet, like an intrigue vampire setting. I'd like to turn that into a game. I'd like to do it using either Feed that I just mentioned or BRP. I'd like to see how BRP handles it. I could do it with a lot of different systems. The specific challenge I want is to use the big gold book for this particular setting. Next setting I'd like to tackle to share with the game group is Blade Runner. I'd like to run Blade Runner specifically. I'd like to design how to do Blade Runner with RuneQuest 6. There's a lot of things in the movie that remind me of the cool things that you can easily do with RuneQuest 6, and I want to explore those things, so I do that. Or I'd like to do it using Tech Noir, which is ideally suited for. The last game in this category, not 5 games, 3 games, the last game in this category is Alien. I'd like to do a version of Alien, similar to Alien 2, I guess, using Ubiquity. I think that could really push the limits of Ubiquity's horror rules and definitely give us the feeling of fighting for your life in high stakes, high speed, without that mechanical burden slowing you down, with all the mechanical power that Ubiquity still packs. Okay, those are the 3 IPs that I'd like to run using game systems I already know and like. And the last item, 2 weeks ago, full blown in my head, came an idea for a game. I've said in videos before, I've said to my friends before, I don't really want to be a game designer. I don't want to design my own role-playing game. There's enough people doing that. But this idea just fell on me. So am I going to design my own game? I'm still not sure.